All right, so we got our Brook update, but we've got a different update we need to give them. Good morning, guys. It's Nick with Chestnut Hills Farmstead. We just got to the farm and we have an update on Brooke. We've just got to sit back and watch where she goes. But let me show you where she is when we pulled up. Jason is sitting on top of the top gate, and Miss Brooke was walking around in the road. So we still don't know. She hasn't come out yet. There she is. See Miss Brooke? We've just got to stick around and see where she's going. Right now she's hanging around the gate. We got to figure out where she went. So we had some pretty good storms last night and this morning. We think that may have made her come out, but we've got to pay really close attention today while we're feeding and working around the farm to see where it is that she's going. Her and Jason are both running down the road. Miss Brooke, where have you been?
Hey, Jason.
I don't want to push her.
No, she's...
We need to kind of hang back and just see if we can follow where she goes.
She's definitely about to go through the gate.
I had a feeling she might be going to the other side of the road, but I just don't want to press her.
There she is. I figure if I walk like I'm going to the birds, she might think we're just about normal business instead of watching her, because she's used to us walking around.
Right now, I think she's just feeding. She's just walking around in the grass feeding.
She's looking for blackberries.
So you saw a full week of videos on trying to find this peahen. A whole week. Never could lay eyes on her again. Right now she's just kind of strolling around the pasture. We've got other things to take care of, but we're going to keep an eye on her just to see if we can figure out where she's going. I think she's just kind of hanging around right now because Jason's still up here. While we were feeding chickens, they gave us the slip for a minute. But Jason's not as good at hiding, because I see him right there. I'm betting Miss Brooke is right there close by. There she is. Her? So now we know where she is. Boy, if she tucked that head, there was no way I was going to see her the other day. But she is. She's on the other side of the road, just inside that gate.
Why don't you show where she is?
I don't want to bother her, so the next time we see her over in the pasture, we can sneak over here and see if she's got eggs right there, but I'm fairly certain of it.
Yeah, I mean, it's, at least she's not tucked way back
No, she's not. There. She's right up against the fence, but...
Yeah, we'll wait. Maybe if we see her get up, we'll come...
I don't want to mess with it while she's on it. I was zoomed way in, but I didn't want to get too close.
Yeah.
And we can see how many eggs she's on, but at least we know where she is.
Stand right there and let me just kind of point so they can see how far she is.
Jason's back up there with her again.
I don't even see her.
She's right in front of you. I see Jason's blue head. But if it wasn't for his colors, I'd have never found her.
No.
She slipped off while we were feeding chickens.
Yeah. She's very close to the drive.
There's Jason right there. See that blue head? All right, so we got our Brook update. We were feeding and moving meat chickens, and we had been watching her, and we turned around and they were both gone. They slipped off. Luckily, Jason's blue head gave them away, because there's no way I'd have found her.
I'm just glad she's just right there, because that's a lot of area to have to try to find her in.
Well, I was afraid the further away she got, the more susceptible she might be to a predator.
Yeah.
But we've got a different update we need to give them.
Yeah.
So despite our best efforts and the improvement that we had seen over the past couple of days, we got here this morning and we had lost Joe. So we had to take care of that before
everything
else. And before we had to answer too many questions from Farmer Rhett. Farmer Rhett has been through this kind of thing before, but he asked lots of questions.
He's very curious about the whole thing.
Wants to know everything that was going on, and I don't have the answers for him for Joe. He's been helping us catch Joe to give him his antibiotics. He's helped me mix up the ammonium chloride,
which was to help break down the stones. Right. So the only thing we can think is that there was a stone that he wasn't able to pass. So as the other ones were breaking down, it might have been so large that it couldn't break down enough.
It's very possible.
There's no telling. He seemed to be improving, but you could still tell that he was affected. You know, of course, anybody that's had any kind of stones knows it don't happen overnight. So that's all we can gather is that maybe he just had one he couldn't pass.
Typically, this issue will take goats. If it's going to be fatal, it's usually in 24 to 48 hours from our understanding. And we have been doctoring him for a week. And he had shown improvements every day. He was getting around better. He seemed to have bladder function like he's supposed to. But goats are notorious for not letting you know when something's wrong.
Yeah.
They hide it very well.
Come on, Cinco. Come on, Cinco. Good girl.
Well, Ferdinand joined in. We can go ahead and get him here.
Look how silky his coat has gotten since we've had him.
Mm-hmm.
It's not curly anymore.
Got it rubbed on good, but yeah, not on you. Unless you have flies. We've got one of these traps out. It's just one we had left from our coop, and we put the refill in it and set it out up here by their feed. I'm going to go hang one in their tree down there, and probably also one under their shade shelter. I guess Tater's big butt tried to scratch on that post.
You want home so I'll dump that water out?
I don't want you to dump that water out. See, there ain't no dumping that water out. You know how you fix that? That's how you fix that. Push that zip tie down back there so that don't fly up. Okay, let it go. Hopefully that's not too short for Tater to walk under it. We're not really rotating them as fast as I had planned because they're not eating it down as fast as I thought they would. We gave them, well, yeah, that's the point, is that we made it a lot bigger area.
There's several.
There's a bunch right here. Yeah. That's what I was just getting. We gave them a bigger area, and just 3 of them, they didn't graze it down as fast as I thought they would. But they have gotten it down. They've gotten some manure on it. We can come through and rake. My plan is to come through this area, probably not even with a cutter. I'll probably just run a tiller over it, just kind of break it up, and not really to dirt, just disturb the soil a little bit, spread some of the manure. What I'd like to be doing is running the chickens behind them, but we're not doing that yet. So it's time to just start them on a new area. We'll probably come off that corner and follow the road down to that corner, go across to the garden, and come up the edge of the garden. Or we may break it up in 2 pastures. That pasture the donkeys are in, it's green and thick and it's fine. I would just like to move through and cut it so that it makes it a little more plush and regenerates it, and we can move them down here to graze some of this down. But we'll cross that bridge when we get there.
Good morning, guys. Well, we had plans of moving the cows, and we're still going to get to moving the cows, but we've had something else happen at the farm. I had to leave work early, and we've actually had to call the law. So Nick got a text from our across the street neighbor, the one that, you know, he talks about helps bush hog, and we've planted fields and all. And he said that he was outside and saw a guy walking down the dirt road, which is not common by itself. And the next thing he knew, the guy darted into our woods. Very uncommon. But he didn't come back out. So I rushed out here. We've called the county out here. That is not a normal behavior. Our dirt road has some traffic, not a lot, but it's always repetitive cars. It's the same cars coming up and down, going to and from work. Never foot traffic. Never foot traffic. And the dogs have been going crazy. His dogs are going crazy. The guy that has the house where the barn is that we lease, he is also a sheriff for a different county. He's out looking. So here I am, standing still, and I'm just kind of waiting. The county's riding just to see. I know it's just woods, you guys, but that's our woods. We have things we have to protect here on our property, and I don't really want anybody, you know, messing with our things or just using it as a point A to point B route. That's not their place to do that. So here we are, waiting to see what the county has to say when they come back from patrolling around the other side of the farm. All right, guys, well, we never did find him. So the county has come and gone. I have went home and grabbed the kids. We've got to get a couple of things done before I take Chance to a doctor's appointment, and Farmer Rhett's here. So we are going to try to get some posts in the ground to get ready to move the cows as soon as we can. So let's get on the tractor and see what we can get done before it's time to go. All right, so here's their existing paddock. You can see their hut. I don't think you can see them, but they're right up there for the cows. And we are about to put the fence posts in right here so that we can just rotate them back into a new paddock. So here we are at a crossroads. I can't remember what Nick told me yesterday. I don't remember if I'm supposed to be going way over there to a T-post, or if I'm supposed to be going right here to the T-post. So I've done it again. I have forgotten what I was told. So we're just going to go to this one because if I remember correctly, we can make another paddock out of this over here, which would connect to that T-post. I'm not sure though. We're just going to go with it, and if Nick kills me, y'all are my witnesses. I do remember watching him. He does 1 foot, then 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. I'm going the wrong way. We got to start over. I'm supposed to be going over that way, and I was headed this way. This grass is so tall. Okay, let's try this again. Zoe, you have to look up to see where we're going. We're going toward the car. All right, let's do it again. Thumbs up. Okay. Tall grass. 1, 2, 3, 4, God, my 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and 10. Oh, don't move. It goes right there. Going that way, right here, between the feet. Push it down. Okay, we did it. Well, I didn't do a very good job of keeping them straight. I got to get them right here. And as you can tell, we kind of snaked it. So, Kenzie, 4 posts back. Let's start there. Look at them. Okay, move it about 1 step. Nope, back. About where your feet are. Right there. Now come to the next one. Nick would be so proud of me trying to fix these, y'all. Yeah, that's pretty good. I guess if I had turned around and looked while I was doing it, I could have done this a little better. Okay, I think we're in a straight line now. Closest we're gonna get. Nick's gonna come back and move them anyway. Well, we're fixing my crooked posts again. All right, we got all the posts in. We're gonna run, take Chance to the doctor, and either us or Nick's gonna catch up with you in just a minute to try and finish out this project. Well, we made it back from the doctor. All is good, just a little stomach bug. And we've got to get everybody fed. And then after that, we're headed to a ball game, and Nick's gonna come in and take over where I'm leaving off. Hey, bud. Hey, buddy. You look very handsome. Hello. That winter coat has come off for most part. Can I come and see the girls? Will you let me come see the girls? You having a good day? You having a good day today? Hmm? You showing them the... And there she is. Let's see if I can... There they are.
Let's go look for the nest.
There they are.
No, let's go.
We already know where her nest is. I found it.
Huh?
I found it.
Can I go see with you?
Hey, Brooke.
Can I go see?
Hey, Brooke. She's just pecking around. Right, don't go over there. Happy as can be.
Up there.
What?
Up there.
What is it?
A snake.
Where?
Up there.
Where y'all were just at?
Yeah. No, where we were just at the road right there. I ain't playing. You can go walk in there.
I don't want to walk in there. Where was it?
I'm not. It was up there. It went
What color was it?
black. We were standing on that hill right there. It was camouflage. No, Mama, we were standing on that hill right there.
Yeah.
Suddenly, that black snake just came out of nowhere.
I'm glad it didn't get you.
It was greenish. It was dark green.
It was probably a black snake.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, y'all don't go up in the wood. We ain't going to look for no darn snake.
Can I go get my monster truck? Cause
Where's it at?
when I took off running down here.
You left your monster truck where the snake is?
No, it's like
Red.
It's like in the ditch. I'm going up there.
Red.
No, y'all are getting close to the snake.
Why did you do that?
No, for real. No,
Chance, don't get in the road.
I took off running and then it's in there. I know it. It's in there.
It's in the woods?
No, it's in there. You can try to see it.
Well, let Bubba get you your toy and y'all get back up here.
Get my monster truck. Holy moly.
Did that scare you?
I took off running and... The snake's behind you.
Okay, so there was a snake apparently, but we have found where Miss Brooks laying her eggs, and I'm gonna go over here and see if she happens to be laying right now. If not, maybe we can count the eggs. Let's just kind of see where we're at with it. Okay, so we're gonna walk over here and see. We are going across the property to another property. And luckily, she's just right inside their gate. But I'm still kind of leery. God, I hope I don't see snake. Okay, let me show you guys while she's not here. Five eggs.
Hey guys, so as is typical this time of year, Zoe and I just kind of passed each other and waved. Y'all had her out here the last little bit setting up poles or posts, and she already told me, hey, I went ahead and told them on the video that you're probably going to put these in a straight line. I don't want to disappoint her, so I'm going to at least kind of look at it. And I know y'all are Team Zoe, and you're thinking, it doesn't matter if it's in a straight line. But y'all, it just drives me nuts. I'm OCD. I need to try to kind of have it straight. But then again, she does a pretty good job. So we're going to adjust as little as possible. Go ahead and make sure we've got all our corners on the T-posts. And try to be done for today because she was on the way to get Chance ready for his regional all-star game tonight. So I've got to try to get wrapped up here, get everything finished up, and head 40 minutes down the road to make it his game. I'm sure Zoe's been through all this. So this side here coming down the road is fine. I've got no issues with that. We're probably going to put a T-post here on the corner. And this has got nothing to do with Zoe doing it right or doing it wrong. I'm just going to cut this where she came around and then she went around this burn pile. We're just going to come straight across. That way it cuts out some of that curve to the fence, because you know the more curve you put in that fence with that electric wire, the harder it is to get it tight. But other than that, I think we're probably going to leave it alone. We're going to readjust this just a little bit. So we're going to kind of come across here, I think. That way we don't have to make a curving part of the fence around where we have our brush pile here. And we got to see where our other corner is, because if we get it crooked, we'll never hear the end of it from Zoe or me, basically me. I think that'll work. So we're going to replace this one. You know what? There's a curve to that, because I walked around where that thick brush was. It's just going to have to be the way it is. It's straight enough. Maybe it makes Zoe feel better if I put a little curve to it. So this one on the end, that one, we're going to replace with a T-post. That way we can pull against it, pull it tight. So I think Zoe explained about finding Miss Brooke. Now, we had a reel come out, and we had a lot of people excited about y'all finally found her. That was the same video as the day we were missing her and Jason, and she came back, and I lost track of her and didn't find her nest. That was the same video. Today, Zoe actually saw her and was able to catch her off the nest. Now, earlier in the video was yesterday or the day before, when we were messing with the chickens and she slipped away from us. We were trying to keep an eye on her, and we did find her on a nest, but we couldn't figure out if she had any eggs. We didn't want to bother her. Zoe caught her off the nest again today, and knowing where her nest was, she slipped over there and found out that she's on 5 eggs. Well, I've got a little bit more news for you. We reached out to Miss Brooke, the original Miss Brooke at Cog Hill, or for her own channel, Mrs. Cog Hill. We reached out to her because Jason was a little bit older when we got him. We know exactly how old Miss Brooke is because we hatched her, or Zoe did. But we weren't positive on the date that Jason was born. Well, we reached out to Miss Brooke at Cog Hill, and guess what? According to her, he should be 2 years and 8 months old. That means there's a good chance those eggs are fertile. So we're going to leave Miss Brooke alone, let her do what she does, and see if we end up with some baby peafowl. Okay, guys, you got your Miss Brooke update. Unfortunately, you got the update on Joe. I know we didn't talk about it a whole lot, but it's just not something we want to talk much about. It's an unfortunate part of farming, but we just want to try to stay with the positive. The positive is we've got the fence ready. All we've got to do is string the wire, which will happen tomorrow or Wednesday. We'll get that stretched, get the cows moved, on some fresh pasture. They're going to love it. Guys, thanks for being with us, and we hope you'll like and subscribe, and see you next time on Chestnut Hills Farmstead.